right, we're going to go ahead and move on with the, let's say the service. We'll move forward with the agenda this evening. And we'll start with mayoral comments. We decided to do something a little different tonight, was to start with comments from myself and kind of share some things. I only have one slide up there that I'll be talking about, but I have a lot of information I want to share for the community to just kind of about what things are taking place. So the first thing here is I do want to talk about the electric bill first. And what we did was we kind of put up I wanted the citizens to really understand that we here at the city, the city staff, the employees, we pay bills too. We care about what the citizens are paying. We're doing our best effort to take care of our citizens and protect them whenever we have incidents like this. The reason why I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention, I hear a lot of times of statements, even on social media. We do hear them, we see them. We may not respond right then, but we will take notice and try to explain some things here. That the city does have an electric bill to pay. Like, we are not the end of the line, we're the middle. And one of the things that we do is we pride ourselves in taking care of our constituents. And when we say constituents, that's everybody within the city. The council here, they are always looking out for the best interests of our citizens. We look at our elders. We know that everyone does not have the financial means to pay the high cost of bills and the increase. So what I want to kind of share tonight is, if you look over at that 900,000, that payment, and you look at the center payment, the citizens were paid, they paid $718,000. So if you want to say over $700,000, that was what the citizens together paid. But the bill was much more than that. So that $200,000 was paid for from the city's account. We covered the basis of the increased rate. So what you see as your rate in our city ordinances or what's on your bill, we did not raise anything. We did not add anything to the bills. So I wanted to make sure that everyone understands that we took and stepped in the gap for that. One of the other things I want you to understand is we have been paying, what was it? I forgot the number now, top of my head, over the Uri.
$8,135 a month for 60 months.
Yeah, for 60 months we've been paying $8,000, but the total amount was about what?
$500,000.
$500,000, $500,000. So we was paying that because of the last incident. We stepped in the gap again. So we have never pushed those costs down to the citizens of what we are one of the only cities in our group that has not signed a PPA, which means that we can raise it whenever they say that the rates go up. We can push that down, but we don't do that. We don't push the increased rate down. The city takes the brunt of it, right? And we cover that gap. And this is one of the things that we pride ourselves on. Again, I wanted to make sure everyone understands that, because I hear a lot of things that are on social media and it sounds good, like the city is price gouging. We wouldn't price gouge ourselves. We pay the bills too. Like, my electric bill raises when everybody else's electric bill raises. So we have no reason to price gouge. We're not here to make a profit. We're here to provide a service. So I just want to kind of point that out first before I share some of the other good news. But I wanted to kind of make sure everybody understood that our heart here is we're not trying to make money. We are trying to take care of our citizens and provide the best services possible. So anytime that we have an increase, it's because of infrastructure. It calls for it. It calls for maintenance. It calls for upgrades, things like that. As our city grows, some things are going to cost a little bit more. So we just got to keep that in mind, and I just hope that our citizens hear our heart from this, that we are here to protect you and serve you. And I will again say, our utility department has went above and beyond to help citizens when they need it most. We're pointing them to programs like LIHEAP and all of these other programs that are out there to help. And even we reach out and get other organizations to come in. They actually help some of our citizens pay their bill, right? Because we don't just stop at it. We understand that sometimes it's difficult to make ends meet. So we do everything that we can to make sure that our citizens are taken care of. So with that being said, I do want to share some other things that I think are great that has been taking place. First of all, I want to start off with saying that in our community, that we have a lot to be proud of today. I was talking to John, city administrator, about Earl Arnold. You know, we hear, this is a citizen who has taken it under his own effort and initiative to go out and pick up trash along Route 66. And then he calls up to the city hall and say, hey, you got a bag out there. And they'll go out and pick up those bags, but he's out there picking up trash along Route 66 because he wants to help out in the community. And the reason why I want to bring that incident up is because this is what community looks like. To take care of our community is going to take everyone. A lot of times I hear complaints about, oh, well, we need to clean up this and we need to clean up that. And I'm going to say, yeah, we sure do. But let's take it one step back. We shouldn't even get to the point where we have to clean up after someone else. Like, everyone should be taking care of their own property in our community. That's how we take care of the community. The problem lies is when the city is left to take, and when we say the city staff or our workers in our departments are expected to clean up everybody else's stuff, when it's all our responsibility. So let's work together as a community and continue to improve the way our city looks. Because it's all of our responsibility. It doesn't just rely on, we got about 75 staff members somewhere around. I can't tell you how many street or the street department and our parks department, they cannot cover the entire city and take care of everyone else's stuff. Because we have other responsibilities we have to do. Just like we just had this incident down on Route 66 where we had a water outage or a pipe, a water main break. And one of the things with that is, with the water main, we had several businesses that showed up and actually were very patient with us through the process. Our staff members did an outstanding job getting out there to fix that problem as fast as they could. And we had Mr. Larry Keaton from Gypsy Sam's. He came down and brought snacks for all of the workers. But that's the support that is appreciated when you go out and you make these calls. See, this is not something that we talked about. You know, we have a plan to do things throughout the week, but then we have these unexpected things that happen. And believe it or not, the city experiences a lot of unexpected things that happen that interrupt our plans every day. So the 50 calls a day, we may have a plan to come in and do a certain thing. It doesn't get done because we have to handle an emergency. And usually those emergencies is always surrounded around providing a service to the citizens. So the citizens take precedence over any planned work that we may have in a community. So I just want to say thank you to all of the downtown business owners for their patience through the process of fixing that busted pipe. And I know a few of the businesses that were affected, but we do appreciate that. They know that it was not our fault, but it was through the work that's taking place down on Route 66 and the team that we have contracted through MoDOT. They're doing a phenomenal job down there, and sometimes things happen, and we have to be graceful when those things happen and just kind of watch and as they fix it. You know, the workers don't feel good about making mistakes like that. But when we come in, we just do what we need to do to get everything back up. The other thing, we had a couple of employees. One of them is Kaylee Powers, who she graduated from Leadership Pulaski County. Leadership Pulaski County this last year. And for those that don't know what Leadership Pulaski County is, it is an organization or a program within the chamber that teaches you about leadership, about yourself. You learn about connecting with those in your cohort, but also you learn a lot of information about Pulaski County. I graduated from class 4, so I was early on in that. And I think right now they're at 13. This was 13 that graduated, so they're going to go in 14. So I'm an old timer, but I'll tell you something. I didn't know a lot about this community when I got here. When I went to that program, I learned a lot about what this community had to offer, and I also built some great relationships through that program. So I encourage you to go there. But we want to say congratulations to Kaylee Powers for graduating. She works at our animal shelter. She's phenomenal, though. I did an interview with her one time. I was like, man, you good. But we have some great employees, and just say congratulations to her again. Also, with the Water Wastewater Professionals Appreciation Day, we had two of our employees that were there with Bill Hardwick, Donnie Bill, and Josh Sharpenstein, and they were recognized for their work on March 10th as our team joined MPUA there. So we want to just say congratulations. Now, Donnie Bills, hey, these guys are the ones that you see out here fixing those problems out in the street. These are the type of employees that we have. They're getting recognized at the state level. So we want to say thank you and congratulations to them for their hard work. You may not see them or know them by name, but when your power gets, or your water gets cut back on and they're out here doing these projects, they're the ones that's behind the whole effort. Also, just kind of share a couple of things with our city schedule. On the 7th of April, we want to make sure everybody goes out and votes. All right, so I know that right now our council, no one was contested, right? And everybody wanted to come back. So we get the pleasure of seeing this council sit here again for another 7 years. Another year. But we really excited about having our council back. But we do want to encourage you to go out still and cast your vote and allow your voice to be heard. And if you want to, you can write your name in. It's up to you. That's an option, I guess. Also, on April 3rd, you have on April 3rd, we have the City Employee Appreciation Day. It's on Good Friday. So City Hall will be closed at 10 a.m. We have the Best Sapper competition that will be taking place on April 18th. Which is a great event. You want to come out into the city park on that day. We're going to have a lot of festivities. For those that you might not want to see the Sappers, we'll have Chick-fil-A there. So you can come out and get some Chick-fil-A and watch people descend from some helicopters and land in the park and jump out of some airplanes and exercise. And you don't have to exercise. You can just eat and watch them burn the calories. All right, so you can have a good time. Come on out and learn a little bit more and support our armed services. Also, coming up in April, we have, this is a time where we have our awareness for the military child. We have Autism Awareness Month, but also, for those that may remember, we have Child Abuse Awareness Month as well. And I would always encourage our citizens to take the free course on Mandated Reporter. The two most valuable populations of people within our community are, of course, our children, and then our elderly. So we want to make sure we do everything that we can to take care of those populations so we know what to look for. You can take that class for free, but I just want to bring that to your attention that we have that awareness coming up. I kind of mentioned already about Earl Arnold and what he's doing out there in our community, but I do want to encourage the citizens to help us with cleaning up on Route 66. We will come up with a way to identify certain sections. I do have organizations that volunteer to clean certain areas. We have, one of them was Manna Church. They take over the Frog Hill. They usually do that Frog Hill and the city sign on Route 17. And this is what community looks like. Where can we help? You know, they come out and they say, we're gonna take care of this for the city, and where else can we help? I met with another organization that wants to take part in helping out with the community as a group of about 20 veterans that want to help support the community any way they can and clean it up. As a matter of fact, I'll be going tomorrow with one of those team members to a regional roundtable on less plastic. So coming up with a program for recycling. And they're going to join me down in St. James on tomorrow. But this is what community looks like. We're not working against the city, we're working with the city. And when I say the city, the people. The people are working together. So it's a partnership, and we can get a lot done if we do. So Route 66 campaign for cleanup is about the centennial. We have the 100-year celebration of the centennial. It's going to kick off on April 30th in Springfield, but we want to make sure that our city looks great. We have a lot of great activities that are going to be taking place this year, and we want to make sure we show our best to those that come visit and travel Route 66. There's going to be many people. We have the great race that'll be here, and we're going to have over 100 cars that's going to be down on the square. So we're going to have that event taking place, and we want to just prep for those types of things. And every month we're going to have events in the park. You may hear music on the 4th of July. We plan on having fireworks out on the 4th of July. So get ready for things like that. So let's continue to help and support this effort to clean up our Route 66 and also in our neighborhoods. That's very important that we keep our community clean, so I want to encourage that. Also, we have been expanding our reach with the Mayor's Mile. The Mayor's Mile is just a 1-minute spot on the radio, but I try to put out information to help open up lines of communication. We've done it in several different areas. So KFLW, you can hear it there locally, but we're just trying to get information to the citizens so that you can stay abreast of what we have happening in our community. We also have, last month we had a citizen come in and bring up some information about our city website, which we totally agree. We had been working on some things over the last couple of months, and it's a long, painful process to reorganize a website. For those that have done anything with web development, it's not an easy task to just go in and just delete stuff and start it. It's a lot easier actually to build one from scratch than to go in and have to realign some things. But we have a city audit that's going to have a 90-day process of making these small transitions. So just be aware that we're working on making small transitions over the next 90 days to improve the user experience of our city website. And we also have coming up here April 16th and 17th is our spring cleanup. So we need to make sure we have that information for, you can see our city website to get information about what you can and cannot have. I'm not going to read that here to you, but it's pretty standard every year. Just make sure you go ahead and start prepping your items now, so you're prepared. I'm not saying put them out on the curb now, but I'm saying that you can prep yourself now by, organizing those items for that day. Again, that's going to be on April 16th and 17th on your respective trash days, and you need to have all of your items curbside on that day. We have Sign Smart, which is our business spotlight for the month, and for those that don't know, they're actually out on Route 66. They just relocated and moved back into the city. They used to be over at the Cross Creek Mini Mall, and they moved out. They had another location near Lakeway, and they're back here in the city, and we're very happy to have them back in our city and continuing to doing business for our city and our local businesses. I do want to bring up the mail issue. We have had many complaints. Of course, mail has been an issue in your utilities, bills making it to your location on time. So this is the problem. Mail is out of our hands. This is the solution. Please sign up for e-billing so that you get your bill emailed to you and we don't have to worry about mail. So let's build some contingencies and make sure that you sign up for e-billing. So the mail piece, if you get the mail, we don't know. That's outside of our hands. I will tell you, I sit on regional boards and state boards with both the Missouri Municipal League and with Merrimack Regional. Anytime that we talk to our delegates, their representative from state or the federal, we're talking about mail issues. Mail issues is not a Waynesville issue, it is a state issue and above. So we have already solicited support from every level of our delegates, from the state level to our federal level representatives. So we are working on that, and also have contacted the postmaster in Kansas City. So we are doing everything that we can to get this taken care of. I tell you what our solution is. We want local mail to stay local. Local mail should not have to go to Springfield or any other place to just come down the street to us. So that's our fight. I just want you to let you know that we do think, and we do have common sense. Mail that's local should stay local. It should not go outside of the community. So that's what we have been recommending. We'll see how far that goes. I do want to bring up an issue about vandalism in our Ruby New Park. You'll get a little bit more on the damage that was done side, but what I want to talk about really is the fact that if we see something happening to any property within the city of Waynesville, understand that that property is not just our property, it's the community's property. If someone damages it, we all pay for it. We have to pay for it as a community. So it's not that the city's paying for it, it's that we, as a city, we're all paying for it. So if you see someone damaging property, please report it to the proper authorities. You can call the non-emergent number for the city. You can contact, call someone, say something, notify us, social media, phone call, but we can't just sit back and just let people damage and destroy our property. There was vandalism that was done to our bathroom down in the park. And like I said, we'll get more into that later, but I just wanted to encourage everyone to, if you see something, say something. Don't just let things happen. If you see smoke, call the fire department. Don't just watch it. Like, things like that. I think that's very simple and a great ask. But anyway, so moving on to the TAP grant. We have a couple of things. So we had 3 different grants going on, or 2 different, well, we got 3 different grants, actually 4. We have 4 grants. All right, we have phase 1 of our TAP grant, which moves from the east or the west side of the Ruby New Bridge down towards Morgan Street. Most of that street is complete, and they did a phenomenal job. They worked real quick. Now we have the second portion of that grant, or TAP grant, is phase 2, which is going from Morgan Street all the way down to I-Corps. So we're still asking everyone to please be patient, as the traffic may get a little tight, and it may impede your movement. Plan accordingly. I would say leave earlier because it's going to get tight. Now, what's going on down in the city of Waynesville on the square in that area, where we go with the Ruby New Bridge going west, that is actually MoDOT fulfilling a requirement that was self-reported, found back 2007 and 2010 to do 88 upgrades and compliancy. So they had, I think 2027, by December, they have to have all of the projects complete. I believe that's the end date. So you see where we are in that order, right at the front of the line. But we're happy to see it's happening down there. So we're going to see some crosswalks, some more safety features added to Route 66, which is going to improve safety and improve the quality of life for all of our citizens. So be aware that once we have this sidewalk complete, I will do, I know I have the mayor's mile, but we're going to walk the mayor's 3 miles to Infuse and back. So we're going to do a ribbon cutting and do something and walk up the street. You can run too if you want to, but I'm going to walk. But we're going to walk down the street and back to kind of celebrate this new feature in our community to help connect our community throughout. And I think that's going to be enough for tonight. But I just want to kind of share that we are very happy with the way things are going in the community, and we do want to continue to open up lines of communication. Please contact us. I will leave you with this one last thing. When it comes to social media can make or break our communities, right? We can go on social media, we can use it for something good, or we can use it for something bad. When I say use it for something bad, we can take it and we can start to make up things, we can speculate about the worst things, and we can stir people up. Well, our job, my job, and I consider my job whenever I'm on social media, is never to stir things up. but to bring the light to things, meaning to bring truth to the situation, giving you clarity and giving you the actual process of what's actually happening in our city. That's what we're here for. We're here as a council to communicate how these systems work and what's actually happening. I know that everyone wants to be heard on the internet, but I would ask you to just call, text me or something, or you can text your council members here and ask them the questions. Putting it out on social media, we don't always see it, for one. I'm not gonna get on there and try to look at every page to find out what comment was made. Hey, our numbers are open, public to the community. So if you have questions about anything that's going on in the community, that's what we're here for. We're here to communicate what the process looks like, so we can make sure that things are taken care of. I tell you, just last week I seen a comment about a business where it talked about the cottage law, right? And there was a citizen that had a concern. There was several citizens that had a concern. But I sent over information about the entire process to help for clarification. So we go back, we go research. I don't know everything. I gotta go find out. I gotta ask people. I gotta do research. We have to ask, we have our attorney here because we don't know everything, right? We don't want to get in trouble. So we use our resources to educate the public. So with that being said, if you want to know what is happening, please contact us, because we're not going to do anything that's going to steer you wrong. We want your businesses to be successful. We want our citizens to be successful and safe, and we want our community to be safe. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and move on. Do we have citizens' comments tonight? No citizens' comments. All right. So we'll move on to the city administrator's report.
Kind of give the entire council an update on the park vandalism, and I would agree greatly with Sean. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This incident went unreported, happened in the afternoon hours, and was not technically reported. It was self-discovered by the city much later. And I would just ask the community to, like Sean said, that the infrastructure of this community is everybody's responsibility. We all own it. We all take a part of it. We all enjoy it. And unfortunately, when it's vandalized, we're all responsible for the repair and replacement of these utilities. And this is one example that we show up to fix and correct. And Sean was also explaining about unexpected tasks that you have a schedule. We have a schedule. We're looking at street lights and unfinished business, and we're wanting to do storm drains, and we have all these, and then you're off schedule just for this, right? And that, to me, that's a little senseless. But let's just be mindful of what we're doing, and pay attention to especially situations like this. Park board meeting for April is on April 9th. Utility committee meeting, the operation maintenance service report for March on the territorial agreement was updated. Each department gave their updates. The next utility meeting is at 3:30, April 6th. Economic development committee was March 2nd. Very important, again, SignSmart was selected as the business spotlight for March. And they are located 318 Historic Route 66 West. Next Economic Development Committee meeting is April 6th. Roads and Grounds met. We're going to kind of start discussing abatements again and trying how to address those, how to clean those up. Tonight we're going to go over a proposed ordinance, HB 2026-07. In Roads and Grounds, we discussed a road named Rice Road. And really the maintenance and operation of that road. I think that committee did a very good job in analyzing that road. One of the probably more simple questions, but very viable question was, do these residences pay city taxes? And if they do, then we feel obligated as a city to maintain that road. And so we're starting maintenance on that road. Next, Roads and Grounds is at 4 o'clock, April 7th. Emergency Services Committee, Animal Shelter gave an update. We had an update for the police department as well as the central dispatch. And finally, the fire department gave an update. There was a citizen comment or discussion within that committee that actually led to another committee immediately following that, being the Finance Committee, and it was about dog training in the park and maybe specifically bite training. And you know, Sean hit on all the highlights. Now let's talk about social media and how that interaction got reported by one of our local Facebook reporters, I guess. That's what you want to call it. And it really just culminated into an argument on Facebook. And I want the people to know that if you really want to know exactly what's going on, just call City Hall, call your councilman, call your committee chair, get the real facts. Don't read it on the internet and then say, oh, that's what was said, or that's how it was said, or try not to add context to the content. It's hard to do when you're reading. We have a lot of property within the city. We understand these dog trainers have been working within our park for many, many years. And the conversation, and it has been good conversation that I've had with the councilmen that sit on that committee, are looking for an outcome that favors both sides and in a good way, right? And they're pressing us to do more, provide more, find options that will accommodate a diverse crowd within that park all at the same time. And we all believe those options are available and really readily available in a timely manner. And so, and trying to read into what the conversation was on Facebook, and without being a part of that conversation personally, I'm going hands off there. I just want both sides to know, the people in the park with concerns about the dog training as well as the dog trainers, that the city is working to find a solution for both, and that solution would be favorable for both people. So that's important to know. The next Emergency Services Committee is April 2nd at 4 o'clock. Finance and Human Resources met. We have, again, a reporting on the Waynesville CID. First 3 months, I will say it appears to be lagging some from the previous year or two, but it's early. You're 3 months in. We have maybe one business yet to report, as the report for March was collected, months earlier. So we probably haven't seen our January reporting yet, but we're nearing that. And the way sales tax are paid now, it can be monthly, quarterly, biannually, annually. You can see a lot of changes throughout that. So I'm not panicked as of yet, but definitely keep an eye on that every month. That is an indicator of the economy within your community. The next meeting for Finance and Human Resources, April 2nd. No planning and zoning meeting was held on the 10th. The next meeting scheduled for the 14th. No Board of Adjustments, and we schedule those on an as-needed basis. Special events, Sean went through those very well. A lot of things coming up, a lot of things to be a part of, and excited to see some of these events kick off. Not only the Centennial of 66. I'm really excited for the Best Sapper competition and what that will bring next month. I will say there are some surprises out there, so you should attend. You will probably be able to see things and witness things that I know me personally I've never seen, and I'm excited to watch those.
All right, thank you, John. Are there any questions for John? Thank you for the report. We'll go on to our next agenda item, which is the council discussion. And basically, I shared the. Oh, do you have a copy? No. Yes. She did have a copy. Committee assignments. So these are committee assignments. Here you go.
Just passed.
So with the committee assignments, I did make the one correction on there. If you have, anyone on the council have any questions on this, we can talk about it. It doesn't take effect until after the next session, but I just wanted to kind of put this out here now, so I know schedules change from time to time,
I'm good with it.
and we don't have to vote on this tonight, it's just discussion wise.
Do you need this one back so you can mark yourself?
Everybody's okay right now? And I've made your correction? All right. And then I guess we can move forward that if there's no other, and we'll stick with the same group for the ward redistricting, if that's all right with you guys? Sure. All right, the next item,
You're not gonna put anybody else with you for the Growth Alliance?
no.
Okay.
So we have a proposed ordinance HB 2027-07. Madam Clerk?
First reading, an ordinance declaring and amending Chapter 210075 of the City of Waynesville's Municipal Code, more specifically, the abatement of public nuisance, Section B, public nuisance. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Waynesville, Missouri, as follows. Oh, I think I was supposed to read that. Okay. Second reading, an ordinance declaring and amending Chapter 210075 of the City of Waynesville's Municipal Code, more specifically, the abatement of public nuisance, Section B, public nuisances.
Okay, a motion? Motion by Mr. Rice,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Hayden. All right, discussion.
I've got a lot of questions.
Okay.
Do you want me to just go?
Yeah, you can go ahead, just turn your mic on.
Now I can't, okay, so I made a bunch of comments to myself. There's three things in here that I don't specifically see that I think we need to talk about, but then I have some other things that I have questions as I think they may impact our citizens. First of all, do we have a separate ordinance for height of grass? Because I know there's all these, comments that, oh, if it's above 12 inches, it's going to be cut or whatever. I don't see a height in here. Does that
Yeah, we do
matter?
have one.
Or is it a separate ordinance?
I think it's a separate ordinance. It is 8 inches, I believe, in that ordinance.
Wouldn't that seem like it would make more sense to have it in here?
We just referenced it.
Yeah.
Okay. I must not, well, I don't have the other ordinances in front of me, I guess.
So probably reference it in here.
Specifically as stated in that ordinance. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because what it says is trees or vegetation on private property that endanger. Doesn't really say what that means. And I think, I'm looking at number 22 because I think that's where grass would fall under. So I mean, I just think that's kind of vague. And if we, to be able to make it enforceable, our building people go out, I just think that's too vague to be able to say, oh, well, I think that tree or that limb's that grass is a danger. I feel like we need to revisit number 22.
I think that a lot of the information that's already in this here is already a code or ordinance, and it just needs to have the reference number in the actual, because we don't need to repeat it, I guess. We can just have it referenced in there. I think that's what we normally do with all of our other more details. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I just feel like that we need to have something where it's clear. The same with 17, because we have people burning leaves all over the city, and am I to understand number 17? We don't want people to be able to burn leaves in the city. Is that so? Essentially, we're making a no burn ordinance. Am I reading that correctly? Number 17.
Yeah, that's the way it reads. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we provide a leaf and lawn dump, and that's what we ask them to,
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure.
We appreciate that.
I gotta follow up. Are we gonna have the fire department to issue a permanent no burn in the city of Waynesville for those items?
For these items.
Yeah. For leaves and
Yeah. What do you mean a permanent no burn?
well, you're technically, if you're gonna burn something, you're supposed to call the fire department and see if they're issuing burn permits or not. And,
But they don't.
well, that's
Some do.
where
They
they
will.
need to be held responsible.
Because along that same lines, you know, do we then get into, somebody has a fire pit and they're putting leaves in their fire pit,
Yeah.
and they claim it's a fire pit, or, I'm concerned about that. I don't have a fire pit, but I'm just saying,
Mhm.
It's a good statement.
so, okay,
Wait a minute. You finished, Bill? Okay. I know you asked a question.
Well, maybe that questionnaire needs to go back to the Emergency Services Committee where the fire chief sits on that committee and get his input.
okay, so moving on, 27, storage of firewood less than 6 inches above the ground stored in front of a building. I don't even, maybe I'm just stupid, I don't understand what that means. So, do I understand that you have to have your firewood 6 inches off the ground, right? You have to have it elevated?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that was more of just a question. I didn't see anything in here about livestock of any kind. Do we need to address if people have livestock, that that's a nuisance in the city? Does that need to be in there?
So.
Or are we okay with
Yeah,
livestock?
in the current code section here, 210075, so that section was redacted on livestock.
Okay,
In the existing form that we have right now, 210075, livestock is only allowed or allowable within a zoning of A1 or agricultural.
okay.
And as we progress through COVID and throughout, we obviously have seen that state statute has modified the chicken ordinance.
Right.
So we have redacted all livestock out of this particular ordinance. And, you know, we may find it fitting to put back into the ordinance or find it more fitting to address it in an ordinance
I mean,
in and of itself.
because if we don't have that in here, what's to prevent me from getting a coat?
Well, we already have ordinances that say that. Like,
Okay.
there's already codes there. What this is actually gonna help us with is recouping the funds for those abatements. So like your source documents are the codes that we already have. This right here just takes it to the point where we can actually, instead of just doing an assessment on the property and waiting until the cows come home to be able to get recouped, this is gonna allow us to do a special assessment.
No, I understand that, but if we're not addressing livestock, for example, then how could you use that law, if somebody has a goat, to recoup in here?
Well, when you're talking about assessing livestock, or you're talking about maintaining yards, right? What are we gonna do with the livestock?
Well, I mean, if we're.
Like, how is them having livestock gonna cost us anything?
I don't know.
So why would it need to be here? So like, what we're looking at is, if we go out and cut somebody's grass, if we go out there and we're now taking man hours, our equipment, our time to take care of someone else's yard, that's what we're looking at. That's where we need to be recouped, because if not, we take our employees right now to go do it. Now they can't do what they're supposed to be doing. But if we can recoup the funds at the end of the year, now we can contract out, because we know we're getting the money at the end of the year. We're not just putting money in, it's not becoming a money pit type thing. So we're actually gonna get that back. So I think that we already address a lot of this in the other codes that we have. This right here is just gonna help us to be able to do the special assessment at the end of the year, where they have to pay this assessment prior to paying their personal property tax. So that's the whole purpose of this initiative.
Okay.
So then I have a question on 29. It says outside storage on any property and by conditional use permit. Does this include the people that buy vehicles, and they don't register them and they just keep them on their property? So if they do that, then they're going to have a permit to have those vehicles on their property? Because, as we know, I know we have one going downtown by the bridge that has vehicles there, and they have been there more than 30 days. And then there's some people on Old Route 66 that have vehicles on their property that have been there within the city limits for more than 30 days. And they don't have plates on them or anything like that. They're just like vehicles they're buying for scrap or salvage or whatever they're using them for. And they're not registered as a commercial entity. So do they have to get a permit? I guess that's what this is saying.
Maybe it needs to say, residential. Is there some?
Well, they are
Yeah, I know, but it
residential.
doesn't
I
say
mean,
that
there's
on
some
29.
on Route 66 that are residential. And
Well,
if you go
versus-
by, they have old
Versus
trucks
commercial.
and engines pulled up on chains and so forth.
Because it says I think you're exactly right, 'cause it says any property.
Any property.
And when we're talking about, we've got 4 or 5 auto body places along 66 that have vehicles that have been there for, you're exactly right, for months.
Yeah.
And, that's because that's what they do. But I think the way this reads, somebody could make a complaint, come in, and we're kind of have to do something with with our work. We'd have to abate one of the body shops
Right.
if it came to it.
But some are private residents too.
Right. I feel like this needs to go back through committee and probably have roads and grounds and emergency services would probably be the two. Look at this for things like that. That's what I feel like.
I agree.
So I entertain a motion to table
You have to
it.
vote on the current motion, Mayor. You have to vote on your current motion.
Okay, so you want to make an amendment?
I didn't make them, I didn't.
There's already a motion and a second, so we need to vote.
Yes.
So if we don't want to do
Okay,
it, we
you
can
don't want
vote
to do
no,
it.
Or you
right?
can
Right,
rescind your
right.
Kill it.
motion. Whoever
Kill
made
it.
the motion could rescind it.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
I made a
Councilman
motion, I'll
Rice?
rescind it.
Okay.
All right.
Then I'd like to make a motion that we table this and send it back to committee.
For further
Review.
clarification.
I'll second
And
that.
committee specifically, roads and grounds, please?
I believe those would be the two. Does anybody,
Specifically
you're all
roads and
on the
grounds.
other committees, is there anything that anybody else, economic
I-
development?
Does zoning need to be involved?
Maybe.
Planning and zoning?
If Rob was the one that made the motion and now he's withdrawing it, do we have to vote since there was a second on his original motion? Do we have to vote to,
I don't think so. Or to vote to, because I think if you're withdrawing, I don't think you have to vote. I don't think you guys have to vote to allow the motion to be withdrawn.
It's just,
I think if you want it to be reconsidered or amended, or if you want it to be reconsidered or something, I think that would be a vote to allow it to be reconsidered. But I think you can withdraw it without a vote.
even though he had a second on his original
I
motion?
think so. I mean, you guys can, if you want to be safe, and just go ahead and vote on it to withdraw it, or just vote it down, since it did have a second, but,
I think we just voted down because we already have the
Yep.
second.
yeah.
Okay.
Do that too.
And then that way we know we're covered.
Yep.
Madam Clerk,
Councilwoman Corrin,
No.
Councilman Bland,
No.
Councilman Hayden,
No.
Councilman Rice,
No.
Councilwoman Dills,
No.
Madam Clerk?
Councilman Farnum,
Yes.
Councilman Harrell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dills,
Yes.
Councilman Rice,
Yes.
Councilman Hayden,
Yes.
Councilman Bland,
Yes.
Councilwoman Corrin.
Yes.
All right. Do we have any other business? If not, I got about 5 other things. No, I'm just joking. All right, council comments. We'll start with Mr. Farnum.
Well, the calendar says tomorrow is the first day of spring. But being 80 degrees outside today, I think spring's already here, and I hope I'm right.
Okay. Thank you.
I've got no other comments. I'm pretty excited about the way things are going. I'm looking forward to the summer coming up. And spring's here always.
I just want to reiterate what the mayor said. The electric bills or utility bills, go online and sign up for it. Then you know that you're going to get your bill in time. You can't depend on the mail. I mean, it's not our fault, the city's fault. It's the U.S. postal system.
Thank you.
Yes, so the mayor covered a lot of things on his comments since he moved earlier today, but that's great. Which gives me a chance to thank Amber Box for doing a wonderful job as city clerk.
Yes.
Thank you, Amber.
The other thing I would say is I'd ask that the city look at extending the due date for utilities for this month. I mean, I get my bill online, but I still get a paper copy, so I know. I got my bill on the due date, and if I didn't do the e-pay, there's no way I could not be late. So I would ask, I guess it'd be utilities, look at extending, when we know we have this problem, extending the due date of the bills, maybe by a week or 10 days, something like that. That's all I have.
Sean talked about community pride, and he's right. This body carries a lot of pride for the community, and we want our community to carry that same pride. So I'd like to remind you that Sean has made a web page where you can go to find out what ward you're in. It'll tell you who your councilman is. If you have any concerns, we're glad to hear it, because we want them to carry on the pride as well. So we'll take care of you to the best of our ability so that you carry the same pride for the community that we do.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who volunteers, who picks up trash along Route 66, does anything to make our community a little bit better. Thank you to my fellow councilman and the mayor, because people forget this is pretty much a volunteer gig up here. So yes, please, we are here for a reason. If you need us, reach out. And thank you again to the wonderful city staff. You all are amazing. Appreciate all your hard work.
I got 2 things and then we would go. They only gonna take me about 10 minutes. But the 2 things, one of them is we have WAG is out, Waynesville Action Group. They're doing interviews for businesses, so be aware they'll be contacting you. It's legal, it's not scammers. So I just want to make sure you know that they are coming around talking to businesses along Route 66 and within the city. This information is going to go into our 100-year centennial newspaper in celebration of the centennial 100 years on Route 66. So just be aware, we do have volunteers going around taking pictures and interviewing all of our business owners and getting their story to put in that newspaper. The other thing I wanted to take note of, and John reminded me tonight was the students. And the one thing I recognized is spring gets a break, but Mr. Wallace doesn't. So we want to say thank you to Mr. Wallace for coming out to keep us going tonight with Tiger TV and keeping us going and still knocking it out even without your team here. We appreciate you. With that being said, I will adjourn this meeting.